2.5 volt minus 1. So your limit is 1.5. What means this? If you take a measurement and you find 3 volts in the higher line and 1 volt, 2 volts in the lower line, is considered good.
But in total, they have to always equal to 5?
In theory, you have this clearance. But normally, if you measure the maximum, you find always 5. Okay? You make only this. Okay? What is the problem? The problem is that you must to, come si dice interpretare in inglese?
Meglio in una frase.
L'importante è interpretare bene quello che si legge.
Maybe understand this in a post.
Okay, sorry, repeat for my English. Important is to understand what you are reading or your multimeter. Okay. I repeat, if you find 120 ohm, you understand immediately somewhere something is opening. Huh? What's happened, for example, if you find lower resistance, 30, 25, 20 ohm? What means this? It means that you are approaching a short circuit because the resistance go down. Okay. What means if you find the difference between the higher line and the lower line open? 4.5 volt, 0.5 volt. You are completely outside the limit. Probably it's the same story. You are approaching a short circuit. Especially when the cable are damaged, for example, and the H touch the plus dB. I found in the time 5 volt directly. I understand immediately. I have a connection between the supply and the canvas line. All discussion that you, when you are working, you must try to understand. Okay. And this is regarding the wiring, the only cable that you have running in all the units. What's happened? You can have similar readings even if you have a device. For example, you have the encoder goes insert in a short circuit. It looks the same. If you take a measurement, you see the same. You see the resistance, for example, going down. Okay. The best way is one only. You have a lot of alarms, because if the canvas line goes in crisis, you can read a lot of alarm without a logic. For example, you can have alarm in the slave 2 in the cage and one alarm on the frame sensor. No, it's possible. This is a good suggestion for you, because if you find one alarm only dedicated for one component, okay, probably 99% is the problem of the sensor. But if you start to have alarm not congruence between them, one sensor in the frame, one sensor in the boom, or alarm that go and come and go in different position, you understand that is a problem. The only and best way that you have to understand this and start disconnect. You, for example, I was in Bulgaria for 28 DA. Our dealer in Bulgaria makes a big mistake on 5 units. They want to check the insulation because we sell the unit insulated. They make the test, but they don't remove the load cell because the load cell is the only component that is in steel and is directly connected to the frame. So they put the two players, no, start 3,500 volts, boom, 5 machine. They call us, guys, machine completely fault old, okay, take a plane over there, and after days I discovered, they told me, we make, no, you disconnect the load, no, because the load cell between the body and the cables, a disaster. At the beginning, for me, it was very hard. What's happened? You start, you put the tester, you see, for example, in that case I remember 4 volt and 5 and 0.5 volt in the, no. I start to disconnect. When I found the 2 devices broken, 2.5. This is not so easy because especially in the higher machine, when you start to disconnect everything, need a lot of time, but there are no other ways. To disconnect till you will see the system normalized, or with the resistance or with the voltage, one by one. And after you start to, you have, for example, you disconnected three components. The system will be normalized. You start, you carry on in the back, one by one, reconnect. At the end, you will find 1 or 2 or 3. This is a limit case. Don't happen normally. But this is, I want to try to suggest you how is the best way for perform a troubleshooting without go crazy. Remember that normally you use the multimeter few minutes. Try to learn to use the software, because the software is the best multimeter that you can use, because our software show you all the messages, the ID. If you have an alarm on the load cell, you enter first of all in the software with the messages. You don't see the messages, you understand that the system don't recognize the device. You understand immediately it's disconnected, and you go directly there. All this for perform the troubleshooting faster and easier. Okay? L'ho fatto. Sorry.